So today is a different kind of vlog. Today I'm covering a gig and I'll be doing it here at Hyde Park Book Club. It's a pretty cool, chill place. Check it out. There's like the bar over here and the gig is right next. Let's get a little closer. Yeah, and I'm here to interview also Natalie Holmes, which is an alumni of Leeds College of Music. And she's been doing some great things, and during the interview we'll talk all about it.
I've got a roof to reside under. Asking it why. I got a roof to reside under.
Okay, well, my first one is always probably always going to be singing with a trance band for their orchestral set around the world, which is difficult to explain. But yeah, that started off in Leeds actually, because they're a band called Above and Beyond. Their musical director is from Leeds, and he asked me if I wanted to audition for this thing, and I didn't even know what trance really was, and ended up being a vocalist for an acoustic version of trance music and playing venues like the Hollywood Bowl and the Royal Albert Hall and stuff, and being able to gig in a way that wasn't about my music. So it was kind of nice because I was just kind of performing in like disguise essentially. Like it was nice. Yeah, it was really cool. It's the first really exciting thing I did, which was again in Leeds. I got the opportunity to support somebody at the O2 Academy in Leeds, and that was a really big deal for me at the time because I'd never played to more than 100 people probably, and Gabrielle Aplin asked me to support her in front of like 2,000 people.
Oh, wow.
And so even though it was I think I was on at 7, somehow everyone was there because it was that kind of gig where people queue up hours before to get in. So whereas if you play a little gig, no one comes at 7. So yeah, that was at the time, like that was amazing because it was the first really exciting gig I'd ever played. Okay, so Jack, my guitarist, he's also a solo musician, and the two of us and another trio band decided to kind of organise a European tour 2 years ago.
Okay.
So just after I got back from that trance thing, we took some cars over and drove around like Eastern Europe, so Lithuania and Latvia and Estonia, and played gigs over there, and that was such an experience. It was really nice. Like it was not in any way at all that was making us money, but it was so it was amazing because all those places, it's weird because if you play a gig in England and there's not very many people there, you sort of feel like you failed. But if you play a gig in a place that you've never been to before, anyone who's there is just like the most exciting bonus because you're like, oh, I've got my first fan in this country or whatever. And
I get that.
Yeah, and also just people over there are really appreciative, and it was just, yeah, it was cool. Being on the road takes many forms, but yeah, that was really good.
been grinding my gears for a while, what do we like? If I could take my head off my shoulders, I'd sit it right at the bottom of the stairs, overthinking every little move. I don't know why I care, don't know why I care. I'm better off if my thoughts just keep their distance. Have you seen my mind? It's always wandering ahead of where I'm stood, but I think that's good. Have you seen my mouth? I only have to speak, and words just run away. But that's okay, I'd rather not find them anyway. I know we're born with a sense of humor, but cut it out, 'cause I'm all grown up and this is child's play.
I just heard really, really good things about Leeds, and also I wanted at the time just to get really far away from home. And I live in Bristol,
Okay.
so it was definitely far from home. And yeah, I'd heard really good things. I came to the open day and everything, and I think I thought it was really sweet. Being in the city
Okay.
was my first real opportunity to go out and play gigs. I didn't actually gig before I came here. I'd been doing stuff on YouTube since 2010 and building a fan base that way, but I think I'd done maybe 1 or 2 live performances, like really quiet in the afternoon and places, but I was petrified of ringing a promoter or talking to a promoter, or
Yeah.
I felt completely inadequate. And it was coming here and meeting musicians that were confident in gigging, and them like helping me book my first gigs. It was just great meeting other musicians and everyone helping each other out, and
That's cool.
kind of, yeah. And I guess there were things that I was confident in that maybe someone else wouldn't be, and then you can all just share your strengths, and it's really cool, yeah. It was cool. Well, I think I'm always just a fan of mixing things up, if
Okay.
you can, and doing different things. Otherwise, I just get a bit bored. But I've always wanted to be able to do at least everything at a medium level, just so if I have to do it, I can.
Okay.
So at the moment, I produce all my own demos. I don't usually take them to the final stage myself. And I know I could learn, but part of me doesn't want to, because I like that collaborative process at the end anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to be able to do that, to like really confidently be able to produce my own demos. And
It's a great song. It's called Thinking About You by Frank Ocean. The tornado flew around my room before you came. Excuse the mess it made. It usually doesn't rain in Southern California, much like Arizona. My eyes don't shed tears, but boy they pour when I'm thinking about you. Oh no, no, no. Been thinking about you. You know, no, no. When I'm thinking about you, do you think about me still? Do ya, and do you not think so far ahead? 'Cause I've been thinking about forever.
to be honest, I don't think I'm ever going to come into a studio and say, hey, let's use Max MSP, because goodness me, I don't even remember what that was. But Logic is my choice.
Okay.
DAW, yeah, and I mean I used that from A level, so it's really been really good. Just being able to learn little bits constantly as I go, even if I know I already knew some stuff when I went in. There's always other people's techniques that you learn. I remember it was my first kind of inkling into mastering and what that might involve and things. So yeah, no, it definitely was good for further learning my way around it. and having an excuse, especially to use it in depth. It probably differs every time. I've always been quite a lyrics person.
Okay.
So
you start with the lyrics.
I usually like to. I have a concept that I really want to write something about, or I find a really cool way of saying something that I want to use and make into a song, because it can be like a cool title or a visual or something that's going to really spark some imagery. Sometimes I'm just noodling on the piano and that happens. I'm not as great with guitar, so not as inspired by acoustic guitar, so I don't think it ever really happens that I'm just playing guitar and I'm like, oh, that's an amazing chord, because it's usually the same chords. But on piano, I was always classically trained on that, so I feel much more comfortable on piano, and then I start singing along, and it's always when I find a real piano, because I don't have one. And if I'm anywhere where there's a real piano, I will sit down and a song will come. Otherwise, it's always lyrics or melodies and stuff that come first, yeah. Well, yeah, as I said, I started uploading YouTube videos in 2010, and at the time YouTube was pretty new, and it was a really small community, which was amazing, and it was really easy to build up a really loyal fan base on there at the time. Mostly you have to be a kind of vlogger personality as well as a musician in order to really be a YouTuber. I got to the point where I'm not that natural talking to a camera. So YouTube was the start, and I was releasing I released 2 albums kind of that I think I've taken down now on Bandcamp.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I was I guess I was promoting that to before I ever did any live shows, I was just releasing music on Bandcamp
I wanna run away with you, so let me be myself with you. I wanna run away with you. I wanna run away with you, away with you. I wanna run away with you, so let me be myself with you. I wanna run away with you. I wanna run away with you. Have you seen my mind? It's always wandering ahead of where I'm stood. But I think that's good. I think that's good. Have you seen my mouth? I only have to speak, the words just run away. But that's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
I just thought of things that I could do for my fan base that would also be fun for me, creative for me. And yeah, I think I'd released an EP as well, so I was I can't really remember what I did, to be honest. I did things like lyric sheets and like, the biggest earner for the fundraiser was covering songs and writing personalised songs for people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Living in a house where I get lost and tripping over my jeans. The black and white world from years ago is creeping up on me. Crawling upstairs, chasing butterflies, tearing sewn up seams. I'm just a child, trying on the world, and it's too big for me. Feeling so small, ooh, but I need to go. I'm gonna pull up, ooh, my sleeves and stand on my toes. I've never been wise enough or tough enough for this daunting place we call home. I'm just a child. just a child soul. I'm just a child soul. I'm just a child soul. Help me onto my feet. Help me onto my feet. Help me onto my feet. I'm feeling so small, but I need to grow. I'm gonna pull up my sleeves and stand on my toes. I've never been wise enough for time enough for this daunting place we call home. I'm just a child, so
I try to just write honest songs that don't stray too far from real sounding music. I always want to keep that in there somewhere, the real instruments, and very
So not
also
a lot of electronic stuff.
some electronic stuff. But I'm never going to take out the acoustic completely.
Okay.
And I'm also just really like inspired by melodies and lyrics. So it's always very storytelling. It's again,
Okay.
that's never going to lack.
So,
And quite just mellow and
so classic
yeah.
singer-songwriter style,
yeah, but yeah.
like telling a story.
The songs are the thing that makes singer-songwriters different from each other, so it's always hard to describe
Yeah.
the sound.
all every glass I tried. Now I've got an empty
it makes gigs so much more enjoyable.
Okay.
To have people there with you and to be on stage with people, and if you've been gigging your songs solo for so long, it also just brings them to life, and you can kind of relive every song even if it's felt really old to you. So it makes it fun to play again, and it just completes it, and you can try different things as well.
Do the songs change? Like
Sometimes.
from when you performed by yourself and then you have a band now and they come in with new ideas and...
That's the thing. It's difficult because when you play your songs so much over time yourself, you're very used to how they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I've not changed my songs too much, but I send my drummer, for example, all the tracks, and he kind of learns how they are for the time being. My guitarist is much more improvisational, and like he probably doesn't play anything that's on the... Well, I have to like rein people in at times. That's the tricky thing, is I don't like being in charge. I don't like telling people what to do. But I guess if it's your band for your songs, they're your songs, and so a lot of the time it's just telling people to play less, because you want a band, but you want the songs to still be there and not be too distracted from. So yeah, it's just really nice I've just got the perfect two guys now, and especially having a drummer that is able to hold back and just play what is necessary is really great.
Going hungry, so I can fill the empty space with love. For all of my life I've tried to find a purpose. Can I just sit and feel euphoria? Yes, I love to sing and play on the piano. I use my hands to cook and learn to dance. But when I was born, I held a beaming smile. All that I knew was that I had a heart. If we could clear our heads at night, imagine the arms that rocked us side to side, 'cause we're up and down like sailors stuck in a storm. But we could be vessels all on our own. For once in my life, I'm staggeringly lonely. I know that can't be an excuse to talk in up to my neck.